The M2A4 was designed in 1920 with the idea of being a cavalry tank. In War Thunder it exceeds at doing just that. The M2A4 saw limited use in World War II and was mostly used as a training tank. The M2A4 is a light reserve tank in the American tree. I would class it as a lightest tank. Its armor is shit. Its gun is okay. It's just a box that goes zoom zoom. It can reach up to 63 km an hour and has pretty nice acceleration to go with it. Use this to get to flanking positions or rush the enemy. The armor on the M2A4 is absolutely horrible. Basically anything can pen this. It can protect you from MG fire and rarely shells if they hit you at a very well angled position. Now let me teach you how to get good at this Zoomie boy. The M2A4 is good at game openers since it can reach 63 km per hour. Use this to get into positions where the enemies might not expect you to be yet. Keep your gun forward where you know the enemy will be coming from. If you are quick on the draw you can disable an enemy and run to safety. Watch out at the beginning of the game as enemies will usually be grouped together and they'll gangbang you like a Brazzers video. As you might have guessed, your role is to hit and run. You also act as a scout vehicle, but it's not like your team will have any situational awareness, so don't bother. Your tank's acceleration and speed are pretty good, even for tier 1 games. Use this to outmaneuver and flank enemies. Even at medium distances, you can drive faster than the enemy's turrets can rotate. This is even better at close range where, if you disable a tank's tracks, engine, transmission, or driver, you basically win the fight because they can't do anything against you. Don't expect your armor or MGs to be much of use unless you run into an AMR-35, then you just put it out of its misery. The only thing your armor protects you from is MG fire. With your braking and reverse speed, the M2A4 can be pretty good at peeking around a corner and getting a shot off, even if an enemy has their gun lined on your position. The worst that could happen is you lose your transmission or tracks. Now for what the M2A4 is best at, just rush the enemy, because you're going to die easily anyways. You're very fast, and you have a small profile. But by the off chance you get hit, you're usually dead. You have 4 crew members, but since it's a tank and everybody is close enough to be blowing each other, you're lucky if only 2 get knocked out. Since this tank was made in 1920, there are no gyroscopic gun stabilizers, so unless you're within 200 meters, you're not going to be getting good hits often when moving. Make quick pauses when the enemy hasn't lined their sights up to you, and take a quick shot and get back to moving. If you don't want to rush the enemy's face because you're a pussy, then you can go for choke points and good positions and hold off the enemy for your team. An example would be rushing to the B cap on Ash River, then preventing the enemies from crossing the bridge.
Round 2. Fight!